Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into an absolutely massive shift in how digital assets are actually ranked and discovered. We're looking right at the 2026 HumanReach.ai guide, and honestly, what it details is a total paradigm shift. For over 20 years, we pretty much relied on one specific metric to gain visibility. Well, that era, it's completely over. Let's dive in and see exactly what's changed and how you can adapt.
25%. Just let that number sink in for a second, because it should absolutely be setting off alarm bells for every single growth team out there. According to active Gartner telemetry, we are seeing a permanent 25% contraction across legacy desktop and mobile search queries by 2026. This is not just a temporary dip, folks. It's a fundamental shift in user behavior. The old way of getting found, relying solely on traditional search engines, is dying fast. Modern intent processing systems have completely changed the game.
So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The end of link dominance. 2. Defining topical authority. 3. The 2026 SEO landscape. 4. 6 steps to authority. And 5. Winning AI search. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the end of link dominance. For years, accumulating off-page links was basically the gold standard, mainly because it was initially pretty hard to fake. But 3 huge problems caused the whole system to fail. First up, link spam. People were basically buying and selling backlinks out of the digital trunks of their cars just to manipulate the system. Second, authority hoarding. You had these ancient domains with massive link profiles that kept ranking high even when their actual content was terrible or totally irrelevant. And third, the real nail in the coffin, LLM indifference. AI platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity, they literally do not care about your backlinks. They prioritize helpful answers, which basically renders all those incredibly expensive link-building campaigns completely useless for conversational search. That brings us right into Section 2, defining topical authority. Okay, so if links are out, what's in? Well, topical authority is the new gold standard. It means covering a specific subject so completely that multi-model indexing networks verify your expertise purely through how comprehensive your content is. Think about a website dedicated entirely to coffee. If that site has 100 deeply researched articles covering bean types, brewing methods, equipment reviews, history, and health effects, it has massive topical authority. It covers the topic so thoroughly that it'll often outrank a huge general news site that just happens to mention coffee once, even if that big news site has way more backlinks.
And this is the core difference right here. Think of backlinks as a form of external validation. You are always relying on others pointing to you, essentially saying, hey, trust this source. Topical authority, on the other hand, is internal validation. Your own content's depth and structure mathematically prove to the algorithms that you know this topic inside and out. You're no longer asking for permission to be the expert. You're proving it right there on the page through sheer conceptual mastery.
Moving right along to Section 3, the 2026 SEO landscape. Let's look at the incredible shift from 2015 to 2026. Before, backlinks were the undisputed primary signal, easily a top 3 ranking factor, and content was, surprisingly, kind of secondary. Now, the primary signal is topical depth combined with EEAT, that's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And look at LLM citations. Back in 2020, this wasn't even a thing. Today, getting cited by an AI is entirely based on your structure and depth, not your link profile.
Now, before you panic and totally abandon everything you know, backlinks aren't completely dead. They've just moved to a supporting role. They act as tiebreakers in highly competitive niches where everyone already has amazing content. They're also still essential for brand new websites that don't have any established domain authority yet, and for local SEO, where citations and directory links are fundamentally tied to geographic relevance. So yeah, you still need them, but they just aren't the main event anymore.
If you pivot to this new strategy, the timeline data is actually really fascinating. For AI platforms, you can start seeing your first citations in just 3 to 6 weeks. LLMs process comprehensive answers incredibly fast. Traditional Google rankings, however, take a bit longer to process these new trust signals, usually 6 to 12 months to see significant ranking improvements. The real secret here is consistency. You have to publish regularly and update your old content rather than just deleting it.
Okay, Section 4, 6 steps to authority. Let's get into the step-by-step framework.
Building this engine requires an exact, methodical framework. Step 1. Choose one narrow core topic you want to completely dominate. Don't pick something massive like business growth. Pick fractional sales hiring. Step 2. Map all possible subtopics using tools like Reddit or Quora to find the actual questions real users are asking. Step 3. Create a massive pillar page, easily over 3,000 words. This is your hub. It explains what the topic is, why it matters, and the core steps. And Step 4. Build 10 to 20 cluster articles that answer those specific subtopics. Crucially, every single cluster article must link back to the pillar page, and the pillar must link out to the clusters. It's like a giant interconnected web of expertise.
Now, the final 2 steps are a bit technical, but they are absolutely critical for how machines read data today. Step 5, you must add FAQ schema to every single page. The documentation shows that doing this makes you 2 to 3 times more likely to be cited by LLMs because it helps parsers easily understand your content structure. Step 6, write in a strict Q&A format. Make your H2 headers the exact question and make the paragraph immediately following it the direct answer. This works flawlessly for both Google's featured snippets and AI citations.
If there's one golden rule to remember during execution, it's this. One topic covered perfectly is better than 10 topics covered superficially. The single biggest mistake brands make is trying to boil the ocean and cover way too many topics at once. You simply cannot pretend to cover a topic completely while spreading yourself thin. Depth will always beat width for both Google and large language models. Build incredible depth in one area first, and then, and only then, move on to the next.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Winning AI Search.
Honestly, this is the most empowering part of this entire paradigm shift. Depth beats domain size. Because AI engines evaluate how systematically and accurately you cover subject clusters, they literally do not care how old or massive your domain is. A small, agile brand can completely outrank a corporate conglomerate simply by mastering niche topical depth. If you cover a subject more comprehensively than the big guys, you become the trusted citation. It really levels the playing field.
The landscape has permanently shifted, folks. As legacy search continues its 25% contraction, you're faced with a tough choice. Will your brand put in the work to become the definitive, highly structured answer that AI naturally wants to recommend? Or will you keep clinging to outdated metrics that no longer matter, only to be left behind in the legacy search graveyard? The blueprint is right here. So, what's your next move going to be?